Peace. If you're catching this video and it's not live, make sure to fast forward to the 2-minute mark. That's when we'll begin the build. Just want to say good morning to the family, Patreon family. Good morning, Hoodmystic.com. Everybody, good morning. How you doing? This will not be a 40-minute video, hopefully. Just want to touch on some quick astrology. This is a lunar eclipse prep. What it means and some different things, some different spiritual, esoteric things that we can now begin to do to really free ourselves from particular bondage and particular negative vibrations and fully ascend and transcend, rather, fully transcend. How y'all doing this morning? Peace to the soul tribe. Peace to everybody this morning. Powerful message, little quick message too, nothing too long, nothing too crazy. Woohoo. Good morning, Chantel, Aisha, Brittany, peace to y'all. We full into Mercury retrograde. We wake up into Mercury retrograde and what it means. And for me, it's more of a solidifying of confidence as we're going to just keep going over this theme as this Mercury retrograde. So we go forward, then we go back, and then we go back forward again. So we really get to solidify some points. So if it's an issue, then that issue is going to be really magnified as well. So it's really a time of addressing issues and addressing problems. And today is Thursday, so we're going to be dealing with Jupiter and the Jupiter transits and everything Jupiter. We're not going to expound too much on the astrology other than how it relates to Jupiter. So we have the Jupiter is in the second decan of Scorpio, and the second decan of Scorpio is ruled by the Sun and Jupiter. So ultimately, Jupiter being in this place, being ruled by Jupiter, and then Scorpio is then ruled by Pluto. So you have a culmination of different energies that are comfortable with each other. So to the analogy that I came up for this Jupiter placement is that it's like you're going to like an exclusive club and your dad is like the owner of it. So your feelings or how you operate in this club is a little different than if you were just going to a club and you didn't know anybody. So that analogy can then be brought to what areas in your life are you fully comfortable at, and it may be a talent, it may be something that you're good at, but you're not comfortable, so you have to clean house or you have to readjust some stuff to get comfortable in that place. So ultimately what I'm saying is karma and karmic relationships, and what you have to understand about karma is that it doesn't have to be bad. It could be good, but ultimately that goodness has to ultimately elevate you to more that you can do, more that you could better your life. Ultimately, if you have good karma and you find yourself stuck, there's more to do. There's more help that needs to be had, or more ways that you can reach out, more ways that you can teach. How many financial prosperous people are there out there who don't have any, financial literacy courses or ways that they can begin to help people with managing their finances, or cryptocurrency people who are very prosperous in that but don't have any ways to influence or tell people about it. So this is really a time of teaching, because Jupiter in Scorpio is more of a teacher as well. So a lot of people feel that they have a message and that they can really get their message out. So there has to be certain transformations in your personal life so you can more transition into this Jupiterian energy as Jupiter moves into Sagittarius, and you can capitalize on it now because Jupiter is in the second decan of Scorpio. And what this energy is actually doing is sextiling Pluto and the moon. Dream, dream, dreams, dream, dream, dreams, sextile Venus. So this is all about like Leave It to Beaver 1950s magical realism, creating your own reality and powerful shit on the planet, and really taking your life from like a scratch and sniff level, like you more of a trying to investigate life as to opposing you know every fucking thing. So this is where we're at. And so this is where your problems show up at, because you don't want to dream. So you got to really understand. So like, it's not, if you're new to this channel, if you're new to this video, or you haven't like paid attention to the Jupiter Explained video, then it's kind of like, it may not make sense to you, but Jupiter is very clearing, very distant from normal life, if ever you wanted to tap into that energy. And so nostalgia is something that can represent something old, but it could also represent the present moment. Are you creating a nostalgic moment? Are you sending like that nude to that guy, or whatever the case may be? Or are you doing something that like really sets you apart, you know, like really just challenging or changing or channeling different energy? And channeling different energy is because Jupiter is trine Neptune in Pisces, which is our pineal gland fully decalcified, fully opened. And how this trines into Jupiter, how it supports, how it is innate, how it is a natural connection between our Jupiterian energy. So it's all about being great and how to be great, as opposed to thinking that you're great and you're not really being great because you don't understand the different laws of the universe, and you're caught in a particular paradigm, or you're caught in a particular surface structure. You look at everything at surface value. So everything that you see is what it is, and the deeper shit, you don't want to get into it. Jupiter is in Scorpio, so Jupiter has dug a hole in the ground and has made a castle out of that shit. And if you're not there yet, this is a challenge, because Jupiter is also square the sun. So the second decan is ruled by the sun. So the sun, what is the sun? Really understanding the sun as an energy, as opposed to a planet. Because the sun in astrology, esoteric astrology, represents your whole entire being. Everything that you call yourself. And this is you as a human, and then your oversoul, and then from that, as it just spirals out to your whole infinite experience on this universal plane. So it's a deep thing. But if you're like, oh, I look good today, you're really missing out on everything that's really happening. So this is a lunar eclipse. This is a lunar eclipse setup. So this is a point where you really evaluate your self-worth. Do you really need a job, or that job really needs you? Do you really need a relationship, or that relationship needs you? And all of these things need to be examined, because what if you're really needed, but you don't really want it? It's a lot of things that are going on within you right now that you really have to take full acceptance over, and then move forward in knowing that, okay, I was being kind of ignorant to my true self, as opposed to holding on to the false self through this transformative time and then wondering what the problem is. While you see other people elevating and feeling great, you are simulating that by actions that may represent that good feeling, but you feel like shit on the inside. But everybody on your social media thinks you have a great life. So this is really some major shit. The sun goes in conjunction to Saturn in about 12 hours from now. So about 5:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the sun goes into full in conjunction with Saturn. And that means that the sun, your whole entire being, does not understand time, or understands how it relates to its true self outside of time. So that misunderstanding comes in full alignment. So what your higher purpose, you don't want to misunderstand your higher purpose. So you got to let shit go. You got to go with the flow, because your higher purpose is kind of in the ocean, in the tides, in the flow of the ocean. But you like, I'd rather be on this boat because I don't want to get wet. That may be fine, but that's not going to get you to your higher purpose though, going with the flow. Because you don't want to get wet, because you're afraid, because you live in a particular fear or a particular paradigm, and you don't want to address certain issues. This lunar eclipse will whoop your ass. And all of the ex-girlfriend energy, all of the ex-boyfriend energy needs to be fucking woosad out of your life collectively. They should not be an issue, because there are better relationships. All of the shitty jobs need to be woosad out of your life, because you have more energy that you could provide yourself. So there has to be a breakdown of how you looking at your life to fully understand this lunar eclipse energy. So the tarot that we're talking about, the astrology that we're talking about a total physical, psychological, and spiritual overhaul. And so you might not understand what that energy looks like, or you might want a book that you can reference to understand the energy of this lunar eclipse, because a lot of people are going to say a lot of things about what this lunar eclipse means for the world and the news, and how it's going to be read and it's going to be the longest eclipse, and they're not going to tell you how to take this energy into your life. And you may not even want to deal with it. You may want to see what wars is going to pop off, or how the moon is going to look. So I'm going to talk about these concepts. There's three main concepts. There's materialism is what blocks people from really understanding. But a lot of people think that since they're not dealing with physical materialism, that they're good. But this is not about just physical materialism. There's three types of materialism that hold us back. Physical materialism is something that we want. So we want to buy a car, and that provides a temporary relief, and then we'll drive that car for so long, and then we want a new car or a house, so forth and so forth. And then you might say, well, I'm not on that. I'm not physically materialistic. But that's just one level of the game. And a lot of people are physically materialistic, and they need to address this, because if you are physically materialistic, it will create an endless pursuit of nothingness. It's just you getting shit, acquiring stuff, making sure your life is just right, making sure everything is just perfect, and never fully understanding and realizing the moment. And this is a block to all spiritual development. But even deeper, there's psychological materialism. Psychological materialism. So it's this viewpoint or this belief or this idea that's going to save your ass, or it's going to heal you, or this group that you're tied into is going to save you, or this fact that I'm a man is going to save me, the fact that I have muscles, or the fact that I'm a woman. Is any type of psychological edge that you have for yourself, that, oh, I got a lot of money, so I'm good, or I have a lot of, or just the fact that I'm a Christian and I believe in Jesus, the fact that I'm a Buddhist, the fact that I'm Zen. Any type of belief or thought structure that you have is a form of materialism. Because when we deal with lunar eclipses, when we deal with reality, we deal with the moment and what we're trying to set in that moment, or what we're trying to do in that moment, who we're trying to be in that moment. So all of these types of beliefs take you out of that moment, because they give you a leeway to say, I can do a whole bunch of foul shit, but as long as I pray to Jesus, I'll be all right. And it's a trickle down effect because it goes into even the conscious community where it's like, I'll just petition my orishas and everything will be okay. And then spiritual materialism. And that's where we seek a temporary state of mind to think that it's going to save you and make you a better person. Like if you do magic or yoga or meditate and you doing it for a purpose. Like I'm trying, like I say, meditate. You might have a problem and I say meditate and you like, okay, I'll meditate to help me solve that problem. But that's my fault. Because you should be meditating the same way that you should be breathing. Why do you breathe? To live. This is the reason why we should meditate. This is the reason why we should do magic. This is the reason why we should study astrology. Not to get to a certain level, not to get to a certain point. Who I am is just who I am. Whether I'm a man, whether I'm black, I cannot help the fact that I'm a black man. It's some shit that I just had no fucking control over. So me to be in a quote unquote black group and it reinforce that idea, that's reinforcing some shit that was given to me. And that applies to white, black, man, woman. All of these things have been given to you. Nobody came out the womb and projected a particular energy and said, this is what I am. So we get back to our natural state. And we don't have to seek any type of emotional states moving forward, because that emotional state, that vibe is just in our everyday moment and what we choose to create. You just chilling. Why don't you cut on some music? Why don't you dance? Why don't you invite some friends over? Why don't you create a positive vibration for yourself, even if you don't want to be bothered? We know how y'all get. So the tarot for today, like you said, we do it in groups of 3. So the first set is the 4 Cups, Prince of Swords, and Death. And first we want to deal with the 4 Cups. That's the Moon in Cancer. And so emotionally focusing on the shit that we like, whatever you like. Really being in tune with that and not letting that go. A couple days ago, I asked somebody to send me some tickets to New Orleans. The hotel is booked. The hotel is booked. So, but you know, I'm gonna get down there, but definitely the hotel is booked. So that's me knowing where I want to be or where I want to go or what I want to experience. So this is more of an energy. This is more of a vibe for you to begin to create for yourself. All I want to do is go to New Orleans. Like, I don't want to go nowhere else. I don't want to do nothing else. I don't give a shit about nothing else. But more or less, you have to create what you want for real. And know why you want it. And know what it represents to you. And that's your version of luxury. Nobody can tell you what's fly to you, what's hot to you in relationships and all of this. Like, you have to really create the thing that you like and are in tune to personally. I'll go to New Orleans. New Orleans ain't gonna say, you know, Hoodmystic, I don't want you here. Get out of here. I don't love you. It's different. I could have did that with a person. And I could have been in some shit. I could have been emotionally attuned to wanting to be with, you know, Lisa Ray. Which I am in my heart of hearts. I want to be with you, Lisa. We need to be together. We're going to see how that work out. Fuck it. Maybe you never know with this magic, baby. You never know. Prince of Swords. And so where we have the different vibrations and the different thoughts and all of these different things on our mind, and what should I do with this, and you know, Ray getting out of jail next week, and I'm living with Tony, and you know, all of this different type of stuff. What do we have to do with it? We have to kill it. We have to evolve. We have to transcend our issues and our problems, and all of the shit that we constantly say to ourselves is our issue and our problems. You can't live like, you just can't keep going. It don't mean actual death. It don't mean that somebody's going to die. It really means you need to transform your energy. outside of a victim based, human based, into more of a God observant, straight up boss shit. Like, we've talked all week about this energy, so I'm not really going to expound or elaborate on the things that you actually need to do. We've talked about that. I'm giving you more of a realization of what really needs to really be cut off and what really needs to happen. You need to kill any negative vibrations. Why do you feel bad? Listen to the 40-minute video we did yesterday. Examine your feelings, examine your emotions, and then get out the fucking sickle and chop. Chop. Or address it, or talk about it. What's going on? This is like, you know, this is like every time it's always the personal issues that really get you or hold you back, and then be the most powerful spiritual people. The people with the issues and the personal problems, and it's like, you know, they be having the most money, most creativity, most popping it, be the finest people, but they caught up on Ray Ray. Let Ray Ray go. So Saturn, excuse me, the universe, I don't know what's going on. Outside of time, outside of our day-to-day, mundane, regular, I gotta go to work, don't nobody love me, I'm all alone way of thinking, and more into a, oh shit, I could get some shit popping if I really wanted to. I could really change some shit. I could really change my reality. I could really get into some shit if I really know how to get into some shit, and if I really put the work in and study and get outside of this everyday shit that I've been doing. Or I could be searching on YouTube every day for somebody to give me the answers for myself. And nobody on YouTube is equipped to give you your answers. Nobody on this planet, this universe. You are so powerful, but you just don't know it. So the universe speaks to you fucking knowing that you are powerful as ever. In this moment, in this space, in this time, you create your own reality. And if you do not deal with this energy, if you do not act upon this energy, and you try to serve two masters, you create mental illness for yourself to an extreme level. And it's gonna hurt really bad, because your energy does not even give a fuck anymore, because your energy has been patient with you. You think all of this information is for you to sit and read it? Like, really, like to just read it and be like, oh, I know this shit. I know everything that you're talking about, Hoodmystic. That's ridiculous. Mars and Gemini trying to serve two masters. You have that's cruelty to yourself, to your environment, to your universe, to your development. You have to be fully aligned with self moving forward. And it don't matter how your life turn out, as long as you have a close relationship with yourself, because whether you live in a mansion or whether you live in a cardboard box, you still gonna be you. So you want to be a lame in a mansion? Like, it don't, like, you want to be scared in a mansion? You don't want to deal with your energy in a mansion? You want to drive a nice car and be this same hurt person? A lot of walls need to come down. You need to get out the city. You need to get out the house. If you can't walk, you need to sit on the porch. If you can walk, you need to get out the house. If you can drive, you need to get out the city. If you can fly, you need to get out the country. It's all about level. What level are you at? I'm at the level where I'm going to get out of state. I'm not at the level where I can get out the country, but if I was at the level where I get out the country, I would get out of the country, because this is an energy where you have to begin to explore. You have to get into your Knight of Dis energy, your King of the Land energy. Or you just going to be weak and just like, oh, I'm so afraid and gas is so high. And this is what they want. They want you to be programmed and operate on a level of fear, so we can be isolated in our homes And so all of these people on YouTube may perpetuate this fear. I'm not going to perpetuate that fear, because even if something bad happens, it's better than nothing happening. Because everything has a flip side. I've been through a lot of bad things that I don't even view as bad things, because they got me to this place. So I understand that life shows us everything, good and bad. But it's all good. And the deeper you can go into the bad, is just the more of the flip side of the good. And all things can be healed. Time heals all wounds. I believe in healing. I believe in transformation. I believe in cleansing. I believe in purifying. All of these things exist to get you up out of your rut, to get you up and moving, to become the king of this, or the king of the earth, or the king of the land, which you are. You're here. Your energy supersedes anything that has been placed before you. And the reason that has been placed before you is to subjugate you and hold you down, and to keep you in a space, and to keep you in a certain energy field. So it's time to rise up out of that. And it's not about me, the Hood Mystic. It's about you, the individual. Period. Shout out to the Patreon family, everybody that supported me. Like, we had the biggest month ever. Like, I can't believe it. So I'm more or less focused on my goals. Like, the goal is what the goal is, so we can begin to do everything on a personal level. But it has to be it has to be some type of set plan, or a set group of people who really want to do it and kind of take it to the level. And it's enough financial support where we can kind of segue off of YouTube and a whole bunch of people who don't support the message, just, you know, just to be here to figure out some bad stuff to point out, so they can pull that out, or sound bite or sound clip you to death, so you could be like, your name could be tarnished. So we got to separate ourselves from that energy and really get ourselves into a safe place where we can begin to conversate openly and honestly about the spirituality. So to support this page, please go to www.patreon.com/HoodMystic. With the printer for the t-shirts, I'm working on a printer. I got a printer, but it's not working. So fixing printers and stuff like that is not my expertise, but something that I am gonna get to work on starting Friday. So be on the lookout for the t-shirts, and when the printer gets up and running, I'm gonna let everybody on Patreon know that the printer's up and running. The shirts is gonna be printed and be sent out. So appreciate everybody's support. Appreciate everybody's love. Hoodmystic@gmail.com, paypal.me/TheHoodMystic if you want to donate to my channel. Cash App is Hoodmystic38. Just a personal reading for the individual to help them through their day on a spiritual level. This is not for everybody. This is for people who are trying to spiritually evolve and spiritually develop. This is a channeled message from deities higher than me. So it's not like something that is to be played with. This is a very serious thing that's happening on the planet, and it's not to scare you, it's to evolve you, it's to elevate you, it's to for you to go beyond your limits. We're not talking about ascension, we're talking about transcendence. Look up the definition of transcendence and to fully understand the energy. So with that being said, family, I wish you all the best. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Let me just see what these comments is looking like. Peace, man. If anybody got anything going on, if anybody, oh, I'm seeing these messages, yo, peace. If anybody got anything going on, make sure y'all email me. I like talk back and all of that. I know people be on YouTube and you send them messages and they'll never respond to you. I dealt with that a lot, but since I dealt with that a lot, I try to be the opposite. So I will respond to you. So I seen somebody here talking about they got tickets down in Louisiana, so make sure you email me if that's real. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm all for it. Peace to y'all.